This is a 10,000 Uganda shilling note, one of the banknotes that make up the Ugandan currency, as revised in 2010. A critical look at it indicates that it has similar graphical designs with the 25 rupee notes of Seychelles. The same applies to Uganda's 20,000 shilling note, which has similar looks as the 100 Seychelles rupee. And when one puts the 5,000 Uganda shilling note together with the 50 rupee notes of Seychelles, a resemblance of designs is noticed. What this says about these two countries is that there could be something in common. Right in the center of Victoria is where I'm standing, a city believed to be the smallest in the whole world. Behind me is the clock tower, a monument that is said to have been set up way back from the days of colonialism. Mahé is the main island of the Seychelles in the Indian Ocean. It is recorded to have been the main detention center for King Kabalega of Bunyoro and Buganda's Kabaka Mwanga. The two kings were taken to the Seychelles in 1901 after losing a series of battles with the British colonialists.
They had their armies resisting on behalf of the kings, but these armies were defeated because the British were better armed. You can see now in Fort Portal, that fort was under Major Portal, who defeated Kabalega there, because Toro was already under Bunyoro. After Kabalega had overthrown the royal family of Toro, taking back Toro to Bunyoro as part of Bunyoro. But Major Portal, on behalf of Captain Lugard, was fighting in Toro, and that's why the town is called Fort Portal.
This joined Prempe I, the king of the Ashanti, also known as the Asante Hen in the then Gold Coast in modern-day Ghana. He was exiled by the British to the Seychelles in 1896, being a victim of the acquisition of a territory that became the scramble for Africa. All these were as a result of European exploitation, which was by no means a new thing in Africa, dating back to the 15th century.
What Ugandans should learn is there should not be kings at all, because kings sold Ugandans, kings sold their own subjects to Arabs. That was wrong, and they have not repented. So there should not be kings, because kingship means an economic system where one group is dominating another. In the whole world, there should not be one group richer than another, dominating another for the economic purposes of those dominating. So the kings were wrong. They didn't repent. Their descendants have not repented for selling Africans in East Africa to Arabs.
None of the two kings made it back to Uganda alive, as Mwanga died in 1903 and Kabalega in 1923. As their legacy still lives on, one could be asking whether there is anything to learn from the bravery exhibited by these two leaders.
First of all, let us reflect on the two people who were captured, the two kings. Let's see what they did and borrow from them. What can we take from them? Let us always take time to learn from our history. History should not lie there just for nothing. It should be able to change our future, because we can't change it.
During the recent 25th coronation anniversary for the Kabaka of Buganda, Ronald Mwenda Mutebi II, the Ashanti King of Ghana, Osei Tutu II, graced the event. The historical detention of the kings from the two countries could have partly brought the current kings together.
Obwakabaka bwali bumaze emyaka 27 okubuliwo ne buddawo mu Julayi 1993.
precedent of the greatest significance to us because today's celebration has a deeper meaning than just the commemoration of the illustrious reign.
So,
To us, it is the celebration of the triumph of the African spirit, the enduring, unconquerable ethos of our common heritage, and our capacity to adapt to the dynamics of modern.
Such togetherness partly makes Seychelles a historical place worth visiting. Seychelles and Uganda are both former British colonies, with common features including their transport system. In Victoria, the capital city of Seychelles, both motorists and pedestrians keep left, a similar thing observed in Uganda. All these are marks of colonialism that befell both countries.
Both Kabalega and Kabaka Mwanga were exiled to the Seychelles, as were kings of Ghana Prempeh, as well as Archbishop Makairos of Greece. That's where they sent all the bad boys.
These tortoises are found on Praslin Island, one of the land masses that make up the Seychelles. In its current plans, the Seychelles Tourism Board is in final stages of making the Kabalega and Mwanga detention area a world tourism center.
I know one of the king who came to Seychelles in, I believe it was in exile. His home where he lives actually is going, there are some development there, some talks that they want to develop it into a museum. Eventually the site is not too far from town at Le Rocher. It's still there, it's still a place where when he visited Seychelles, the last king came for the carnival, no? They went to visit the place. And it is a story which is quite particularly, it appeals to our African tourists especially. But right now it's not a place which is open for the public to go and visit.
I would like to imagine that maybe the Seychelles government has not reached out to the tourism ministry over here, but this should be something that should be, I think, promoted for our mutual benefit. Because in Mengo, we have a house there, I think you know of Kisingiri. When he came back with the Kabaka, he came with the giant tortoises, so they're a feature to be seen. He also came back with several fruit trees. One of them is called the breadfruit, and one can actually go and pick the breadfruit because in Seychelles it is eaten as one of the staple foods there.
Between Kabaka Mwanga of Buganda and Omukama Kabalega of Bunyoro are described as the best efforts by traditional leaders against colonialism. Whether the struggle was futile or not, the resistance remains stuck in the world records of history, consequently translating into a legacy well placed. Henry Okurut, UBC.